Hey, Sarah, offer my condolences about your mom and see how you're doing.
One day you're the top of the town, and then the town talks you down. You fall right off of cloud nine. Trouble comes blowing in. You're waiting for a change in the wind, but you could try changing your state of mind. It can't rain all the time, all that gray up in the sky. It's just a flip side of blue. It's gotta make a little room for a new beginning to a happy ending. Pretty soon we'll be soaking up the sunshine. It can't rain all the time. That songbird will sing again. That prayer's gonna have an amen. It ain't the weatherman running the show. Keep rocking, let the thunder roll. It's another thing you can't control. Even hard times come and go. You know, it can't rain all the time. All that gray up in the sky. It's just a flip side of blue. It's gotta make a little room for a new beginning to a happy ending. Pretty soon we'll be soaking up the sunshine. It can't rain all the time. And every rainbow reminds me there's one more storm behind me. Oh, it can't rain all the time. All that gray up in the sky. It's just a flip side of blue. It's gotta make a little room for a new beginning to a happy ending. Pretty soon we'll be soaking up the sunshine. It can't rain all the time. It can't rain.
What up? Can you hear me?
JC, thank you so much for having me.
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Awesome.
Well, I know this is like the third time we had to reschedule, but I'm glad I finally got you up here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me tonight.
Oh, you're welcome, bruh. You're like the 98th episode. This is like the 98th episode.
Awesome.
Interview. 100th episode.
Very cool. Yeah, you're getting close.
I got a dope reality star coming on.
Nice.
Well, I just want to know a little bit of your like how you got into music.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for playing my video for It Can't Rain All the Time. A lot of that was filmed in East Tennessee, where I'm from. My granddad was an accordion and bluegrass player in East Tennessee, so he was definitely one of my biggest musical influences. And then my mom always encouraged me to pursue music lessons, piano lessons, so I definitely got into music because of the family, but also as a child, I just always gravitated to writing songs at an early age and was drawn to all sorts of music, especially country music.
So I seen that you play shows. What is one of your favorite shows you've ever played?
Yeah, there's been so many, but definitely there's been some Nashville shows, of course, at the Bluebird Cafe. I was honored to play there a couple times. I've played at the Listening Room a few times, and those are just great music venues in Nashville where people actually, come to listen and to hear the stories behind the songs. So I'm very grateful to have played there.
Uh, well, let me ask you, what is your writing process like? Like, do you sit down and write to the beat, or do you write first and then find the beat?
It can be very different. In the case of the song you just played, It Can't Rain All the Time, I co-wrote that song with someone named Bill DeLuigi. So in the case of when I'm writing with someone else, usually, I bring in ideas or they bring in ideas or titles. That day, it was the case of I heard, the line, It Can't Rain All the Time from the 90s movie, The Crow. And I thought I would love to do like more of a modern country song with that title. So we were just playing around with it, and it just kind of became more of a country blues song. So you never know what's gonna come with a song. For some of the other songs on my current EP,
Yeah.
like Born in Birmingham, I sat down by myself and wrote that. Sometimes with personal experiences, it's just easier to sit down and write them by yourself rather than writing with another person. That was the case for a lot of the songs on my new EP. And some of those, like the words just started flowing out. And I usually like to have some sort of melody, and then the rest of the words follow once I have a melody.
Well, I had somebody tell me that you sound like Taylor Swift on Born in Birmingham.
Oh, really? Okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, I did notice. I was like, yeah, I did notice that, but I don't like to compare artists to other artists.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody has their own style.
Yeah, I agree.
What's been one of the biggest moments of your career so far?
I've had a lot. Definitely, playing at historic venues like Bluebird Cafe. I've had the opportunity to work with different publishers in Nashville. Um, I've also have had the opportunity to play international shows. So being invited by the America for Bulgaria Foundation to perform in Bulgaria, that's definitely has been one of the biggest moments in my music career, and being able to perform with the symphony in Bulgaria.
Uh, if you don't mind me asking, are you signed or are you fully independent?
I have been with Synapse Publishing and Entertainment. They have been my label and publisher on my latest release, and they are an independent record label and publisher.
Uh, I didn't know if I got into mainstream. Not just playing. What are some of your dream collabs like, dead or alive?
Yeah, so we were talking about influences and sound alikes. I've had some people tell me in certain songs that I sound a little bit like Jewel, which is a huge compliment because I love her. She would definitely be a dream collaboration. I always listened to her growing up, and just like the country folk aspect of her, I would love to collaborate with her. And another one, Johnny Cash has always been a huge influence of mine. I would love to sit down and write a song with him.
Uh, what's one song you wish you had written yourself? Like that's
Mm.
on radio nowadays that's like a hit, or just songs you listen to.
Yeah, I always say the same thing for this, and it's Hope You Dance by Leanne Womack. That's just always one of my favorite songs that I think everyone wish, they had written.
um, well, are we gonna we after this EP, after that you just dropped the EP? What's next after the EP?
Yeah, people always say, what's next after you release something? But I'm excited to get back in the studio and record more songs. But I'm really just enjoying this current EP because, along with it, you played a snippet of the full
Yeah,
short film, but I have a whole short film that goes along with the EP. It's about 25 minutes long. People can find it on my YouTube channel. But I spent the front half of this year filming the short film and the visuals that go with the whole EP, and that took a lot of work and time. So
yeah.
I just really want people to enjoy the short film, and people can really get to know me by watching it. We filmed it in East Tennessee. We filmed it in Birmingham, Alabama. So I'm enjoying my current release and then excited to get back in the studio at the end of this year.
Yeah. I just want to say, people in the chat that's watching or watching the playback, artist link is pinned to the top of the chat.
Awesome.
So this is her YouTube channel. Y'all go check her out and listen to her music. Subscribe, like, do whatever y'all want. I
Awesome,
usually
thank
try to
you.
do that at first, but I forgot.
Oh, I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, I used to not do that, like pin that stuff, but I got to where I do it now, so it's easier to find.
Yeah, it's a great feature with StreamYard.
You use StreamYard a lot?
Mostly for being interviewed, not really for myself.
Yeah. I know some people have trouble getting on StreamYard. I was like, I hope she don't have trouble. That's why when I sent it to you, I was like, copy and paste this into Google.
Yep.
So like you can
Not in your
click if you
phone.
were joining from your phone.
Yeah.
Because most artists join from their phone, and a lot of them, if you go from Instagram, it don't take you straight to the app. It makes you sign into everything and everything.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm kind of a stickler about audio quality, so I usually join from my computer.
oh, well, that's good. What would you tell someone who's thinking about chasing their own dream in music?
Oh, I'd say absolutely go for it. I mean, there's always going to be challenges in the music industry or whatever field you pursue, whether that's technology or saturation of the industry. But there's always going to be reasons and excuses why you shouldn't go out there and chase your dream, no matter what it is. So, if it's something you love doing and you're passionate about, definitely explore that dream and see where it goes and write music,
Yeah,
create music, play music. Just it's better to pursue it than have an opportunity that's lost.
that's good advice. If you weren't making music, what do you think you would be doing?
So I have a podcast called Taking a Walk Nashville. I've always just loved audio and any sort of media format. So I think if I wasn't doing music, maybe, I'd be doing something and radio on the disc jockey
Yeah,
side or, full-time podcasting or just journalism or something because I've always loved media.
that's actually something I wanted to talk about was your podcast. I had this on the thing because I did some research on you. I like doing research on the artists. I want to know what made you like want to start a podcast, and how did you come up with that name?
Yeah, podcasting was definitely an unexpected endeavor for me. Um, while doing music and during the pandemic, I, just decided, first of all, to do a podcast. It was called Mind Your Music Business. And I wanted people to know more about the business side of the music industry.
Yeah,
So I interviewed people, different facets of the business side of the music industry. And while doing that, someone named Buzz Knight from the Taking a Walk podcast reached out to me. I had been on his podcast already and had met him, and he was wanting to do an extension of his podcast called Taking a Walk Nashville and wanted me to do a trial run as a host to see how it went and if I was a fit. So I interviewed a few people. We tested the waters, and then he put me as the host of the iHeartMedia podcast, Taking a Walk Nashville. So now, almost a year later into the podcast, I'm still interviewing different creatives and people in Nashville, and it's been a great addition into my own music and creative side. It's been great just being able to sit down with other creatives and chat with them.
well, I know the answer to this question, but I know the fans that are watching don't. Well, some of them might. Do you do in person interviews or like on like this?
I do. I prefer in person. I definitely do virtual if needed, but especially since it's called Taking a Walk Nashville. You know, I have some guests show up, they think we're taking an actual walk, which we can. I have like little clip on mics if we want to walk and talk, but I think it's so valuable being in person and sitting down with someone if
Yeah.
you're able. You don't have to deal with as many technical difficulties and that kind of stuff. But, you know, if someone else is in Nashville, it's just great to get together, get to know them, and sit down with them and learn their story.
Yeah. I'd like to do in-person interviews too, but I ain't got I ain't got the equipment right now.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
you have a not too bad of a hike, but yeah, you could just get in a podcast studio, do one after the other one day.
Yeah, I actually have done one in-person interview, only one.
Nice.
But that's because I went to this car show about a month ago, and there was a bunch of artists there. And I set it up before I went there, and I was like, "Hey, I need to come out there and do some like media stuff, so I could like get my name out there." And
Yeah.
that's what I did.
Yeah, CRS Country Radio Seminar next year. Come to the press room and, you know, set up.
Yeah. What's one goal you really want to accomplish in the next year or so?
Hmm, that's a good question. This year, my goal was definitely being involved in that short film. It was something I had never done before, and I think this the goal this time around. You know, I was so busy doing that. I was doing that on top of my podcast, on top of doing a documentary called Women Behind the Lyrics that will be out at the end of the summer. And I just had so much going on at once that I'm just more so my mindset is enjoying the moment, not exactly saying yes to everything. But my goal is to taking shows that make sense to me. My goal
Yeah.
is to, you know, record songs that are very meaningful to me going forward. So just taking the time to myself and enjoying the moment, and that's my goal until you know, I get to the next recording and into the next stage, just, you know, taking it step by step.
What is a dream venue you'd love to perform at someday?
I think this is, you know, everyone's answer, but definitely, you know, the Grand Ole Opry or the Ryman Auditorium. It's definitely a dream stage and venue for everyone.
I can see you making it there one day. I hope you do.
Yeah, fingers crossed. That's definitely one of my goals.
What's let's say you do make it there like in the next year or so. Which artist do you hope like calls you in introducts you into the Hall of Fame? Well, the
Yeah, I think current members, I love Carly Pierce. I think she would be a great person to do the introduction. And then, you know, Dolly Parton inducted Carly into the Hall of Fame. So Dolly would be a great one, of course, especially since she's from
yeah.
East Tennessee like me.
What part of East Tennessee you from?
I'm from Knoxville originally.
Nice. You from where Morgan Wallen's from?
I am, yep. And Kelsey
Uh,
Ballerini.
what's your favorite song you've ever recorded and why?
It's a tough one to choose just one, but one that I always gravitate towards is The Chance. I had a great time recording that with Johnny Garcia. He plays lead guitar for Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood, but during the time I was recording with him, that was such a meaningful song to record, and I always just love going back and listening to the production.
What do you want people to remember about you when they hear your music?
I think just that I put music out in the world that was relatable and that they could take something from my music. I'm a big believer that music is healing. So when I put music out there, of course, I have uh, you know, emotion or tied to it myself because it's my own experiences, but I also want others to take what they want from from my music, whether that's joy or healing, whatever they want. So if anyone remembers me by anything with my music, just that they related to it somehow or that I made an impact with my music somehow.
What's been one of the no, I've done asked that. What's something you've learned about the music industry that surprised you?
So when I came to Nashville, I did the music business program at Belmont. I was going to do songwriting and then decided I didn't know much about the business side of the music industry. So I decided to major in that and learn more about that. And I'm so glad I did because there was a lot that I learned that surprised me that I didn't know. Like, you know, contracts and how a record label works. And I'm so glad I learned all of that for my own artistry and being a creative myself. There's so many independent artists and musicians out there that they don't know what they're getting themselves into when they sign contracts, or they don't know how to
Yeah.
collect royalties. So definitely learning about royalty collection, how the whole system worked. It's a huge surprise for everyone, but I'm so glad I learned it.
When you were growing up, did you ever think you'd be where you're at now? A singer?
Yeah, well, sort of. I wanted to be on the path of music for sure. Ever since I was a little girl, I've been writing songs and playing music, so I definitely knew it had to be in music for my path. I don't think I specifically knew it would be in Nashville, but it's not too far from home, and I'm definitely doing what I love with writing songs and playing music, so it's definitely close to what I thought it would be.
When did you start taking music serious? Like, when did you actually, at like, what age did you start taking music serious, or when?
I think I always took it seriously. I wrote my first song when I was 10 years old. Um, I was 14 when I started taking piano lessons. I taught myself guitar in high school, and in high school, I knew I had to be on the path of music, and that's what I wanted to do and keep pursuing. Um, I think definitely Nashville was like a wake up call where, it's more than just a hobby or something I love. Like, this is what I want to do in life. It makes me happy. And just learning about
Yeah.
the ins and outs of the industry, learning, the aspect of co writing and collaboration that definitely made it set into reality.
When did you like record your first song? Like,
So,
actually professionally?
yeah, my first EP, that was my freshman year of Belmont. So I actually worked with Nick Lobel on that. He was at Belmont at the same time as me. So we were recording that in his home studio. It was my first EP finally found. People can go and find that. And now Nick's doing great. He's mixed the new Harry Styles album, Cam's new EP. So he's doing amazing now. So it's kind of cool to think back when, I was a freshman at Belmont and
Yeah.
just recording that EP in his home studio.
Yeah. Let's see here. Is there a song that you've written that really means a lot to you? That's really personal.
Yeah, I think my answer for that is Blue Ribbon. That's on my Outside the Lines album, and I wrote that song about my mom's battle with colorectal cancer. And I wrote that before she passed. She fought colon cancer for about 5 years, and I had that song recorded for her, and she got to hear it. And after she passed, I decided to release it, and I did a whole music video with people who either survived or were fighting colon cancer. So that's definitely has been one of the most meaningful songs I've ever written because it's so personal.
Yeah.
And this past December, I got to perform it at the Colorectal Cancer Alliance conference, and that was just so touching and meaningful for me to be able to perform that in my mom's honor.
Well, I got a couple more questions for you. What's one word to describe your style and music?
I always like to say authentic because, I stick to the truth. Anytime you hear a song from me, it's going to be, a personal experience I dealt with. It's not just, a song to get on radio or something. It's a song that I recorded and I wrote because I loved it or it's meaningful to me. So definitely authentic.
Last few questions I got is, when can we see another episode of the podcast?
Yeah, so Taking a Walk Nashville, I release an episode every single Thursday. This Thursday, we have Diamond Dixie. I interviewed them at CMA Fest this year. So if you want to check it out, wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, wherever, you can just search Taking a Walk Nashville and find the podcast to download and listen to episodes.
Is it on YouTube?
I believe so. I don't have the videos posted. So I think if you go to like Spotify or Apple, that's best, or whatever podcast platform you listen to.
Okay. I'm gonna look into some of it. I've not seen the Instagram, but
Yeah, I definitely post a lot of shorts from Taking a Walk Nashville on YouTube. I have one full episode from me interviewing Chris Blair at the Listening Room on YouTube. But yeah, for full episodes, definitely check it out on your listening podcast platform.
what would you like to say to everyone who's been supporting you?
Yeah, just thank you, everyone who's tuning into this, tuning into the podcast, listening to my music, watching the short film for my music. I'm always so grateful when I have listeners or people showing up to my shows or just really enjoying the music. I just really like to hear when people are enjoying songs or what they take from it. So I'm always very grateful for supporters.
Well, I just want to say I appreciate you for coming up here and doing the interview and taking time out of your day for me to ask you some questions. I really do appreciate it.
Thanks, JC. It's been fun. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm gonna play your song "Put Yourself in My Boots."
Awesome.
Is that outro?
That sounds great.
From around these parts, don't share the same roots. You're kind of a problem, ain't the kind I've been through. I've took all day for a little more change. Does a little more change mean much to you? Put yourself in my boots. Haven't always had it as easy as you. I walk in different dirt. I ain't saying your pain don't hurt, but you might get me if you put yourself in my boots. I'm sure it's nice when you're wearing those shoes, but the marks on mine show my whole truth. Yours last a day, but mine lasts a lifetime. Can't help what you're giving, but you can choose to put yourself in my boots. Haven't always had it as easy as you. I walk in different dirt. I ain't saying your pain don't hurt, but you might get me if you put yourself in my boots. Are you willing to put yourself in my boots. Haven't always had it as easy as you. I walk in different dirt. I ain't saying your pain don't hurt, but you might get me if you put yourself in my